Celebrating the magic of March, the Wisconsin division of Quincy Newspapers Incorporated presents the 96th annual WIAA Boys State Basketball Championships, live from Madison, Wisconsin. This WIAA sports exclusive is brought to you statewide by Associated Bank, a proud community sponsor and fan of area high school athletics. Marshfield Clinic, reminding you life has its moments. Get the best health care and enjoy every one of them. Menards, save big money at Menards. Rural Mutual Insurance Company, a proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award. Go to undividedattention.com. WEAC is proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and invites you to visit weac.org. WEAC, moving education forward. And by the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board.
Welcome to the Kohl Center in Madison. It is the evening session of Division II State Championship Basketball here across the WIAA State Network. I am Brian Groff alongside Chris Wentler bringing you the D2 Championship game. There's a lot of blue in the Kohl Center this evening. The Merrill Blue Jays coming in with a 16-11 mark, matched up with the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes coming in as well. Both of these teams win a semifinal yesterday in dramatic fashion. Merrill comes from behind to get into the final, and Schneck for Whitefish Bay with a tip-in at the buzzer to get into the final for the Blue Dukes.
Two great games yesterday. What a way to kick off the Division II bracket of the tournament, and looking forward to a great game tonight.
Let's take a look at our Menards points of the games, and there are three players that had outstanding semifinals. Chris, if you could take us through the players for the Blue Dukes.
Well, Ron Patton came out of nowhere this year. This last couple of years, he was on the freshman B team as a freshman, and now he's just taken huge strides to go forward and had an outstanding game yesterday, impressing everybody. Keelan Johnson can penetrate, dish, and the guy's a sophomore, but you'd never know it. And Jamie Schneck, what a huge hoop for him last night. He should be fresh today because he didn't play many minutes yesterday because of foul trouble, but obviously the big bucket at the end of the game.
The Merrill Blue Jays had a big come-from-behind win yesterday, and it was led by Paul Jesperson.
Well, and you could say that the Merrill Blue Jays surprised everybody yesterday, including Wanakee. You could almost call it a shocker, but Paul Jesperson had a pretty decent first half, didn't score in the third quarter, and had a monster fourth quarter, and just took over in the fourth quarter to propel the Merrill to the championship game today.
Each of these teams pulled off upsets. Wanakee was ranked #1 in the state in both the AP and the coaches polls. Seymour was 4 and 5 in those respective polls.
Well, and and that's what it's all about. You get to the Kohl Center, anything can happen, and those guys read those things too, and they had an opportunity to pull off a couple upsets, and they did it.
We look forward to seeing what's going to happen here in the Division II State Championship game. Your starting lineups and introductions coming up after the break. A message now from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Once again, welcome to the Kohl Center for the WIAA Division II State Championship game between the Merrill Blue Jays from the Wisconsin Valley Conference and the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes from the North Shore Conference. First of all, introducing the starting lineups for the Merrill Blue Jays. At guard, a 6'3" senior, #4, Matt Waller. At guard, a 6'8" sophomore, #12, David Jesperson. At guard, a 6'7" senior, #20, Paul Jesperson. At guard, a 6-foot senior, #34, Kyle Andreska. And at forward, a 6'4" senior, #44, Sam Arneson. And the head coach of the Blue Jays is Kurt Soderberg. And now introducing the starting lineups for the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes. At guard, a 5'9" senior, #12, Paul Anton. At guard, a 6'3" 6'3" sophomore, number 24, Keelan Johnson. At forward, a 6'4" senior, number 34, Cal Erkey. At forward, a 6'6" senior, number 44, Ron Patton. And at center, a 6'8" senior, number 50, Jamie Schneck. The head coach of the Blue Dukes is Kevin Lazovic. Referees for tonight's game are Dennis Von Rieden from New Berlin, Jerry Reinke from South Milwaukee, and Thad Hilliard from Milwaukee.
There's your introductions for your starting fives for each team, as well as your officials and head coaches. These are your starting lineups, brought to you by Delta Dental of Wisconsin, advancing solutions for great oral health. We believe everyone deserves a healthy smile. For Merrill, it's a senior Matt Waller, sophomore David Jesperson, senior Paul Jesperson, senior Kyle Andreska, and senior Sam Arneson. For Whitefish Bay, senior Paul Anton, sophomore Keelan Johnson, senior Cal Erkey, senior Ron Patton, and senior Jamie Schneck. Each of these teams with 4 seniors and 1 sophomore in the starting 5.
Quite a contrast there, and same kind of lineup as far as senior, sophomore go. Should be a heck of a game.
Whitefish Bay controls the tip. The Blue Dukes and the Blue Jays. The Blue Dukes of Whitefish Bay in your white uniforms with the blue numerals and lettering. The Merrill Blue Jays in the blue uniforms with the white and red numerals and trim. The Dukes get on the board first with Cal Erkey.
And Merrill came out in their normal man-to-man defense, and Erkey beat him baseline for 2.
The Jespersons start out with the ball. We have Paul Jesperson, number 20. He's the Virginia signee. Number 12, David Jesperson, the younger brother. The Blue Dukes take it away. Here they come. Paul Anton pushes it ahead to Jamie Schneck.
The Blue Dukes love to push tempo when they get a chance.
It was an exciting final 10 seconds of that Whitefish Bay game yesterday against Seymour as they come in, miss a shot, and Jamie Schneck finishes with the tip-in at the buzzer with the left-handed hook, and suddenly Whitefish Bay is in front 4-0.
Schneck picks up right where he left off yesterday, attacking the basket there, and a nice little left-hand jump hook.
Last time we saw him, he was at the bottom of the pile on the Badger W after that game.
I thought they might be missing 4 or 5 guys for today's game.
Quite the celebration. That's the fun and the magic of March here in Madison. Arneson inside, spin move, goes to the other side, and he rattles it home.
Both teams have gotten it inside the paint, both times in their possessions, and that's a good sign for both teams. That's a good way to start off the game.
Some good length on both of these teams, some good size, and they have the ability to get inside.
Well, and Arneson's going to Wisconsin for a wide receiver or tight end position next year, and he's got quite the body on him.
Played tight end in high school. That one's a 3 by Ron Patton.
Once again, he continues to amaze us all here at the Kohl Center, just how good he can be.
Picking up on Arneson, he played quarterback as well as playing tight end, and he'll be tight end for the Badgers. Merrill inside, rolls in and out, no good for Waller. Here comes Whitefish Bay. Push it up on the left side. Schneck on the wing, drives inside. Poked out of bounds, the Blue Dukes will keep control.
When you get a guy like Schneck at 6'8" that can put the ball on the floor like that and attack the basket, that is quite a threat for you.
Schneck has come up, he's come up huge in these playoffs. Whitefish Bay gets it in, Erkey sends it inside. Kick it around, and go back out on top to reset with Anton.
Whitefish Bay runs what we call a flex set. It's a lot of tight cuts, and they'll use the elbows. Like to get a lot of jump shots on the elbows. We're going to get a foul here on Schneck.
We got a whistle on Jamie Schneck. Whitefish Bay quickly building a 7-2 advantage.
You know, I like the way they looked these last 2 days, and they just look tough. You know, they play tough, and I've been impressed with them so far in that. And obviously Merrill played tough yesterday. You had to beat a Wanakee team.
David Jesperson gets it inside. There's Arneson. Creating position, goes high off the glass.
Well, that's a great set again for Merrill to attack Schneck like that. He's got to be careful. He'll pick up a second foul again there in less than 3 minutes.
Anton brings it across the timeline. Johnson in from 15 feet, looking to find a teammate to kick it out to. Anton loses control of it. It's on the floor, and the Blue Jays come away with it.
Great hustle play there by the younger Jesperson.
And Paul Jesperson at 6'7" handles the ball a lot for the Blue Jays.
That's a pretty nice luxury to have, too. See how they're going to attack here? They're trying to get it to Arneson and force Schneck to have to either defend him or possibly foul him, which would then hurt the Blue Dukes.
Arneson has it beyond the arc. Paul Jesperson with a head fake, kicks it outside. And they swing it back around. Jesperson pulls up inside the arc, and Drano.
Going with the left hand off the dribble and pulling up and hitting the 15-foot jump shot. He's proven to be everything that his coach said he'd be.
Anton driving inside, weaves his way across through the paint, kicks it back outside. Here comes Patton, has it poked away. Jesperson had it.
Patton had 3 turnovers in a row like that yesterday late in the game. He's got to be careful handling the basketball like that. A little 1-4 high set from Merrill with a fade screen to Jesperson.
Merrill with a chance now to go in front.
We got a hand check. Foul called. Right.
That foul's going to go on Patton.
Falls on number 34.
34, Cal Erke. Second guess myself there. 2011 WIA tournament is brought to you by Associated Bank, a proud community sponsor and fan of area high school athletics.
I can't be having you second guessing yourself.
I thought it was a 34, and then I went, oh, they're showing a 44. There's a 44 going up for a rebound, and we got another foul.
A little bit of a nickel dimer here, foul called, and a loose rebound here.
That went on David Jesperson, his first personal foul. First team foul for the Blue Jays. See Kevin Lazovic in his second year as the head coach at Whitefish Bay. Unique situation for him. He gets to coach his alma mater. How fun is that? He played for them in a couple of state tournament teams and now brings them down as a head coach.
I believe they won it in '96.
They did, yeah. They did, yeah. Part of 3 straight tournaments and hadn't been back there until yesterday. Jesperson inside, off balance, poked away. Going to come back the other way after a foul.
Waller, I believe.
Yep, that one's going on Matt Waller. 2 team fouls now for Merrill.
Number 4, Matt Waller. That's his first team second.
Check out the all-time record for Whitefish Bay in the tournament. 2 D2 titles, 96 and 98. And they sandwiched another appearance in there in 97.
Yeah, they were there a lot in the 90s, and now they brought it back here in 2011.
And spin move, they go inside to Schneck. Schneck off the rim, draws the contact, and he heads to the free throw line. Big honor for Jamie Schneck today, named a first-team All-State WBCA.
Well, you know, just look at his body, and I, watch the way he played yesterday. He's tenacious. He's a good catch for the Badgers to get, and hopefully it'll pan out for him in the 4 years that he's going to be playing football for the Badgers.
Paul Jesperson also honored by the WBCA. He was a unanimous pick.
Very well deserved.
Substitution now. Will Davis checks into the game. He's a 5'8" junior guard.
The pickpocket expert. I mean that in basketball.
It definitely. The best way possible. The second one is good by Jamie Schneck. Another substitution into the game now. Jack Beck for the Dukes. And we're going to take a break. A message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. And we're back at the D2 championship game. Whitefish Bay in front 9-6. Each of these teams had some bumps along the way this season, and we check out the lowest season winning percentage to win a state championship, and you see some of those teams with Elkhorn there up at the top. Now Merrill, if they were to win, would be 17-11. They'd be 607, so we put them number 4 on that list.
Well, I was wondering when I got here, when I saw the records, if you combine the losses of both, if that sets some kind of record, or about their winning percentage. So there you have it.
And you see where Whitefish Bay is. Both of those teams played tough non-conference schedules. They really thought a lot of their clubs this year, but they struggled throughout. Paul Jesperson snaps the net on a 3. This game is all tied up.
He looks really comfortable on his jump shot there. And back to your point about these guys schedules throughout the year. They both play in Division I predominant conferences, and that really helps them prepare for the state tournament.
Whitefish Bay played against a Marquette team. You have Merrill playing against the Wisconsin Valley teams for Division I, and they went outside the conference. And each of these teams suffered some losses, and they really had to do some soul searching and pick it up from there. And they've made some state runs to get down here.
Well, and yet you just saw the graphic there. It's Whitefish Bay 17 or 18-3 since their start, but Merrill's 11-3 since the middle of the year too.
David Jesperson with his second personal foul.
They're leaving him in the game, so he's got to be careful.
Will Davis with the basketball at the top.
I was talking about the flex system here earlier. What they try to do is get a baseline cutter going. As you're going to see here when Patton goes, they ran a little ball screen there. And then they try and get a shot on the elbow or down the post if they can.
They call the jump ball on that as Patton made his move to the basket. Checking into the ball game now for Merrill is number 24, Matt Thistle. David Jesperson takes a seat on the Merrill bench.
Thistle, Waller, and Andreska all had big games yesterday on the defensive end of the floor against Waunakie's guards.
Yeah, when they put that run together in the fourth quarter, it really was a team effort. Paul Jesperson with a deep three. Rattles in and out.
It was right on.
Here comes Keelan Johnson. He wants to press the issue all the way in and finishes.
That's what Whitefish Bay loves to do, and Johnson does a great job there attacking the basket.
Whitefish Bay moves back in front, 11-9. We're going to take another look.
Usually when you get a longer rebound like that and it gets to a guard, it's usually ends up being a good chance for a scoring opportunity for the rebounding guard that took off on the floor then. In that case, it was Johnson.
I think they blew that whistle there so they could change the possession arrow. Is that correct? Because Merrill got it off after that tied-up ball, and it was still showing Merrill basketball.
Yes.
So next tied-up basketball or a change, it'll go Whitefish Bay's way. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter in the D2 state championship game at the Kohl Center.
We'll see if Merrill decides to hold it for one or just keep attacking.
Arneson looking inside, drives baseline around Beck, and he draws the contact.
That was a smart move by Arneson. He had Beck isolated on the wing there and thought he could take him to the glass, and he drew the foul.
The 2011 WIAA Boys Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Beck's going to Drake, I believe, to play football.
Yeah, big guy, big body in there. Arneson almost gets it to fall through there. He's going to head to the free throw line for a pair.
Foul on Patton.
Falls on number 44, Ron Patton, his first team's fourth.
First personal foul for Patton.
Line, Sam Arneson shooting 2.
Sam Arneson had 6 points and 6 rebounds in the semifinal.
And just played a solid defensive game on Austin Molly, too, throughout the evening.
His sisters, Tori and Marley, played on the 2007 Merrill State basketball team. They made it to the state semifinals.
Can't be outdone by his sisters, so he just said, I better get there, too.
There's a lot of good athletes in the Arneson family. The Jersley family as well. His mom was a Jersley. Some good ball players.
Clintonville, Jersley?
Yep, you got it. Mike Jersley, the manager, AAA Omaha Royals.
Nice.
Final seconds here of the first quarter. Anton into the corner, pulls it back into the final seconds, tries the baseline, kicks it out to Beck from the elbow, and he got it. Final seconds here as they get it inside. Arneson with a big heave, the quarterback tossing it up. And we are done with the first quarter play. Whitefish Bay in front, 13-10. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. We are back at the Kohl Center in Madison. Whitefish Bay holding a 13-10 advantage after the first quarter of play. This WIAA game summary is brought to you by Charter Communications. Bring your home to life with the Charter Bundle. Take a look at the numbers, Chris. Tell me what you see.
Well, good shooting by both teams, obviously over 50% for both, and some points inside there too, and that's why your shooting percentage is up as they're attacking the basket.
Kind of figure going off the top of this game that those teams will be able to get the ball inside.
Absolutely, with that size and athleticism.
Erke with it, drives with the left hand, off the glass, poked away, and the foul. Foul's going to go on Wooler.
Well, Keelan Johnson hanging around the glass there again, and the loose change came his way, and he got a chance to go to the basket. Couldn't finish, but he got fouled. Stepping the line now to shoot 2.
You see head coach Kurt Soderberg. He guided Milwaukee Marquette High School to a Whistler State championship. You coached against him.
Yep, 1999. So he's familiar, and he knows what it takes to get it done.
He has a ring on his right hand from that championship, and he's looking forward to hopefully adding another one.
And he's coming from a coaching background, obviously. All his brothers coach, and his father's both in the Hall of Fame in basketball and football in the state of Wisconsin.
He grew up with Tony Bennett, the head coach at Virginia, and that's where Paul Jesperson's going to play his basketball in college.
They've been close friends their whole life. His brother coached for Coach Bennett for quite a few years at Wisconsin.
There's all kinds of family connections up there. That ball poked away.
That's usually pretty typical, is that a lot of families, you know, you got people that coach and they all just continue to do it.
It's fun to see that coaching tree, to kind of see how it branches out. And closed captioning of this WIAA tournament broadcast is brought to you by your local WIAA network station. Waller has it up top, gives it up to Jesperson. Whitefish Bay with a 5-point advantage in the second quarter.
And a 2-3 zone by the Blue Dukes. They may trap in the corners a little bit if they get the chance.
David Jesperson has it.
Got to keep an eye on David, too. He can shoot the 3 ball there if he gets the opportunity.
He gets it inside to a cutter, and there's a whistle.
Schneck picking up his second foul.
We'll set for you the 5 on the floor. Whitefish Bay is Anton, Johnson, Erke, Patton, and Schneck. And for Merrill, Waller, Jesperson, with a Thistle, Andreska, and Arneson. Here we go the other way with the Blue Dukes and a whistle on the other end.
Well, I love to play love the way Cal Erke plays. He makes a great block at the end of the floor, and then he just attacks the basket, drawing the foul there. Now he's stepping the free throw. And this guy plays with a lot of energy.
And that foul was on Matt Waller. Blue Jays are going to make a substitution.
Waller now has 3 fouls. The fouls are mounting up all of a sudden.
They are. Coming in now, Matt Thistle. Thistle's in the game. I just mentioned that before, that he was already in there. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Also coming in, number 54, Jack Beck for Whitefish Bay.
Yeah, you mentioned Thistle. He's having shoulder surgery next week to repair an injury he's had for quite a while. Played through it in football, basketball, and now he's going to have it done next week so he can get ready to run track.
Yeah. Those 3-sport athletes, waiting all the way through the season. Knew there was something special here for Merrill, and as long as they keep playing, he was going to keep putting it off.
Can you say mentally tough?
You bet. David Jesperson handling the ball. Dreska goes inside. Arneson with it now. Guarded by Beck. Draws a double team.
Good defense
outside.
by Blue Dukes there.
They really closed the gap on him. Jesperson goes inside to Arneson, draws the contact.
Well, they ran a little swing cut from the weak side there, and the young Jesperson found Arneson inside. Good pass. Just needed Arneson to finish there. He's back to the free throw line again.
And that foul is on Jack Beck. Arneson shoots 62% from the free throw line on the season.
One for 3 so far tonight, though.
Take a look at his numbers. Just about 50% from the field.
You know, but he provides a toughness for this team and leadership for this team that you don't see on that graphic that every team's got to have.
Their second leading rebounder as well at 4.5 a game.
Along 2-6-7 guys, that's there's not a lot of rebounds for him to get probably.
Yeah, you bet.
You would hope, anyway. You hope the 6-7 guys would be mopping them up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, those guys can play out on the perimeter as well. Patton from the outside tries the 3. That's off the rim. Big rebound by Jesperson.
Speaking of one of those 6-7 guys.
He went up and got that one.
Did a nice job there.
And Dreska with it. His dad's an assistant coach for the Merrill Blue Jays, formerly the head coach. Merrill from beyond the arc. That one off the mark. Patton comes away with a defensive board.
high up in the air to get that rebound, and nothing but arms and legs up there, and he pulls it down.
Anton back and forth, just swinging it. Paul Jesperson going for a steal. Patton steps up and hits.
Well, his defensive man gambled, tried to get the steal. That left him open. He took one dribble, pulled up, and hit it.
Doesn't need too much room to get his shot off.
No. Well, he could shoot it up over everybody.
Yeah, boy, he's got some long arms. Lanky body. David Jesperson for three. He got it. It's a 4-point game now. Blue Dukes in front, 18-14, and quickly a timeout by Kurt Soderberg. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Okay. 4:57 to go here in the second quarter. Whitefish Bay with an 18-14 advantage on Merrill.
I think Coach Soderberg there just took that timeout there to just give his guys a little bit of a rest there. I know Arneson looked really tired after that last possession.
Merrill doesn't go too deep on its bench, and they played that hard-fought game yesterday, so perhaps get the rest in when you can. You got those TV timeouts to work in as well, so helps you out down here in Madison.
Good move by the coach.
Keelan Johnson with it now. Cuts inside all the way into the lane. Just off.
Didn't quite gather himself enough before he shot it, and he kind of threw an off-balance shot there, and it went wild.
That ball almost poked away. Jesperson saves it at the timeline. Andreska deep to the backcourt.
He's got to be careful. He got away with a push-off there before.
Ends up on the floor. Arneson's got it. This team's giving it everything they got. State championship game.
You better. You don't want to walk in the locker room and look in the mirror and say you wish you could have or would have.
Arneson kicks it out. Andreska for three and snaps the net.
That is three excellent possessions in a row for Merrill. Thus, they've got 7 points in the last 3 possessions.
In fact, he snapped it so much it went up and around the rim, so the refs had to blow the whistle to fix it. Oh, that sound right there.
Yep, nothing better. Nothing better unless you're on the bad end of that.
Checking into the game now, Will Davis, number 10 for Whitefish Bay.
Now it's 7 unanswered for Merrill here. See if Whitefish Bay can answer back themselves now and try and stem the tide.
Swinging around the perimeter.
Here to get Beck for a moving screen.
Another foul on Beck.
Well, you got Beck with at least 2 and Schneck with 2. And Patton with 2. I guess he's only got 1. Now Beck's got 3.
And that's 7 team fouls, right?
Right, but they won't shoot this because it's an off-the-ball foul.
Okay.
Player control.
All right. The 2011 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance Company, a proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Insurance Sportsmanship Award. Go to undividedattention.com. Look at the difference in the shooting from yesterday. From three-point land for Merrill. 6 of 14 yesterday. Tonight, they're hitting them 3 out of 5.
Well, their legs definitely seem fresh, that's for sure.
Poked away. Andreska tries to save it. Whitefish Bay look like there's a scrum on the floor. Arneson just throws it up, and Whitefish Bay comes away with it.
Did you see Davis just bounce off Arneson?
Yeah. And quickly down on the other end, the bucket and the foul. Keelan Johnson.
Great heads-up play there by Davis and Johnson.
Falls on number 24, Matt Thistle.
That foul is on Thistle, number 24.
Merrill lost track of where Johnson was, and then on top of it, Thistle comes in and hits him at the end of the shot to make it a chance for a 3-point play.
And Johnson converts.
Badger rims seem very, very friendly.
Whitefish Bay took that early lead, and Merrill's taken a run, but Whitefish Bay has been answering and staying in front.
Oh, there's a real silly foul by Oki as a coach. You're like, all right, you know, 90 feet away from our basket, their basket, you know, just play defense. Plus you foul a guy that shoots at 80% from the line, and right after you had a little momentum change in there too as well. That's too bad.
That foul is going to go on Cal Erkey. Off the back, and Patton with the rebound. Davis has the basketball. Johnson now with it. Connor Weiss is in the game with 42.
Weiss had a good game yesterday.
Oh, rolls in and out. Merrill comes away with it. Poked out of bounds, and Merrill's going to keep it. And we have a buzzer on the floor. We're going to take a timeout. A message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. It's Championship Saturday here at the Kohl Center, Whitefish Bay, with a 21-17 advantage. Unauthorized use or rebroadcast of this program and live internet stream without the express written consent of Quincy Newspapers Incorporated, Wisconsin Broadcast Division, is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law. Chris, Whitefish Bay is representing that southeastern Wisconsin sectional where 3 state champions in a row have come out of there. Last year, they lost in that sectional final to Catholic Memorial, who went on to win it. The year before, Wisconsin Lutheran was the winner, and the year before that, New Berlin Eisenhower.
Well, we all know that that area's got tremendous basketball there, and these guys get to play against each other. And you come out of that and survive that sectional, usually that means good things for you at state.
Paul Jesperson hits the 3 coming out of the break.
Good set play there called by Coach Soderberg, and it worked out for him. They got the 3 ball.
Davis pushes it and holds back now.
Merrill falls back into a 2-3 zone with 2 big guys, 6'7" guys out in front.
Merrill closes the gap to just a single point at 21-20. The ball poked away and taken away by Merrill. Here comes Paul Jesperson.
Jesperson had great floor recognition there. He turned around, he saw the ball was right there in front of him, and he slapped it away, and Merrill picked it up.
The alley-oop inside, but no connection on the other end.
Again, that was a set play. It was an alley-oop play to Jesperson, and the pass just got tipped at the wrong time from Merrill.
Didn't make the target. Keelan Johnson for 3, rattles out. Arneson with the rebound.
Good shot by Johnson. He just didn't go for it.
Merrill has been feeling it from the outside with their last 4 field goals made behind the arc. What's Merrill seeing out of this Whitefish Bay defense?
Well, good man-to-man. They're trying to run some fade screens and set up some lobs for Jesperson when we were called for a charge.
Offensive foul on Paul Jesperson.
Might have been an academy award for that.
Is it the season for that? Paul Anton checks into the ball game for the Blue Dukes.
Coach Soderberg does not agree with that call, and I can't say that I don't blame him for that.
We're getting about down to 1 minute to go here in the second quarter in this D2 state championship game.
And as we thought, a 1-point game, so it's a tight game.
Both these teams pull off upsets. According to the rankings and the polls,
yes.
You take that for what it's worth. It's coaches and the media.
Right.
But it came down to the games, and in the semifinals, these 2 teams advance. Keelan Johnson.
Whitefish Bay did a nice job recognizing the openings in the zone, found Johnson for about a 10-footer on the baseline, and this time he hit it.
Merrill's been hitting their outside shots, and they're down 3. Andreska turns the corner, gets inside, dishes off. That one's slot. Where's the foul? That's on Patton.
Well, Patton's going to get called for the foul. He didn't need to bring his hand down with his size and length of his arms. All he needed to do was go straight up there, and it would have been a tough shot for Thistle to make. But he brought his hand down. He caught him on the wrist, and Thistle goes a line to shoot, too.
Thistle, the 6'2" senior forward.
Tough kid, I think. Only been in the free throw line 8 times this year.
Yeah, that's all year. That's coming into yesterday. Good jumping ability. He can play in the post. Comes up empty on both of those. Whitefish Bay with a chance to extend its lead heading into the locker room for the half.
Well, they'll go for 1 here in about 8 or 10 seconds here. They should run a little ball screen action.
It's taken away by Paul Jesperson.
Good job defending it.
Into the final seconds. There's some contact from behind.
For the first time this weekend, I thought Johnson looked like a sophomore on that last possession there. Should have secured the ball for the Dukes there and made sure they got a shot off it. at the buzzer there to end the half. Instead, he turns it over. Now Merrill's got a chance to add to, close their deficit down here against the Blue Dukes.
And not only did he turn it over, he ends up being called for that foul.
Merrill's struggling on the free throw line right now.
Yeah, Jesperson was 6 of 6 on free throws down the stretch yesterday.
I got him for like 4 straight misses as a team here right now.
And add another one to your total over there, Chris. Final seconds. Here comes Patton across center court. Tries to get it off, knocked away, and it still rattles off the rim and off the glass. And we are heading into the locker room. It is a 23-20 game. Whitefish Bay in front. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Welcome back to the Kohl Center in Madison. At the end of the first quarter, Chris, it was a 13-10 game, and then they matched the 10 points in the second quarter, 23-20, heading into the half. You're really impressed with Keelan Johnson, and he's leading the way in scoring for the Blue Dukes.
He's had an outstanding weekend for them. They had a tough turnover there at the end of the half there. Fortunately for him, it didn't hurt the Blue Dukes, but Merrill's kind of cutting their own throats here. 2 for 9 on the free throw line. They've missed 5 in a row.
They're making their living on the three-point line, but when it comes to 15 feet of those free throws, they've been struggling in the first half.
Sometimes how it is. That's just that free throw line can play a mind game with you.
All right, we're going to send it upstairs now for the rest of our halftime. We'll be back with stats and photos of the first half just after this. We'll send it upstairs to Bob Bradovich.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Chris. Good first half going here between Merrill and Whitefish Bay. These WIAA state tournament telecasts would not be possible were it not for the generosity of our corporate sponsors, including Marshfield Clinic. Joining us right now is Dr. Laurel Rudolph of Marshfield Clinic. A long association between Marshfield Clinic and the WIAA. Why does the clinic choose to be a sponsor of these WIAA telecasts?
The Marshfield Clinic system as a whole feels very actually honored and privileged to be a part of the WIAA sponsorship, not only just for basketball, but for all the academic programs and all the other things that WIAA puts on for our student athletes. So we're actually honored to be here, and what a great opportunity.
This never gets old, does it?
No, it does not. I mean, it's always new teams, new enthusiasm.
Lots of good stuff going on here at the state tournaments. One of the big issues in all sports, at all levels, going from the pros down to the high schools and even below, concussions with athletes. Talk about what Marshfield Clinic is doing and some of the new things that are going on and how concussions are evaluated and how athletes are dealt with once the diagnosis of a concussion is made.
Well, concussions are significant, and as you've seen in the literature, both on TV and in the media and in the data literature, the significance of concussions not only immediately but also long term. I mean, pro athletes suffering from dementia secondary to concussions. So as a Marshfield Clinic system, we want our athletes to shine not only now, but every moment, every day, and in the future. So what we've developed is a concussion management program. With each of our schools that we are contracted with, for which we provide athletic training services, we have developed helped the school develop a concussion management program. And then we have identified within all of our regions throughout central and northern Wisconsin providers who have special interests in concussions. And most of our schools have signed up to take baseline neurocognitive testing, and then we've trained providers in the physical exam and the management of these neurocognitive computerized testing that they can take post-concussion. As a primary care provider, I don't want that athlete back out in the court until I know that they are physically healthy and also mentally healthy.
And the attention this is receiving at the higher levels, that has to be helping when you're dealing with the younger athletes too. People are just more aware of this.
I'm sincerely appreciative of all the media that the NFL has wrote, because as you know, in the NFL, if an athlete suffers a concussion, they're not allowed to return to play that game, and they also have to have thorough medical evaluation, including a medical evaluation by a neurologist. So it is a big thing, and I think it's important. I think it's been under-recognized, and I think it's important for the future of our athletes, both in their athletic careers but also in their academic careers.
Now, in the total picture of health, what advice would you have for young athletes? I mean, we're watching young men out here who are in very good physical shape, but the goal, I would imagine, with high school sports is to make this a lifelong fitness goal. What sort of advice would you have for young people to remain competitive, not just now, but later on in life, too?
Well, as we know, we have an obesity problem that's escalating in the United States. So Marshfield Clinic really wants to focus on providing any avenues where students or adults can participate in sports, whether it's a walkathon or whether it's organized athletics like we see behind us. And remember, preventive health is extremely important. So there's activities that you can do at all ages of life, and preventive care is extremely important.
All right, Dr. Laurel Rudolph, Marshfield Clinic, we certainly appreciate the sponsorship leadership of Marshall. You're very welcome. Now you can go back to watching basketball.
Yes.
So you're a fan, too. You don't just come here to talk to us.
I mean, Merrill's not that far from Marshfield, so go Merrill.
Absolutely. All right, Dr. Laura Ruda. The DVD copies of this and all WIA tournament games are available for $29.95 plus shipping and handling. To order your copy of this game or search the database of past WIA tournament DVDs, you can visit prepfilms.com. And we've got a good game here. First half of this Division II state championship game between Whitefish Bay and Merrill. For a recap of the first half, let's send it back courtside to our announcing team, Chris Wetler and Brian Groff.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Whitefish Bay led by as many as 7 points in this game. They had the first lead and the only lead, but every time they'd push it out to 7, Merrill was coming back. They're really doing it from hitting from the outside.
Yeah, and they're shooting well for the first, from the outside, and overall their their field goal shooting percentage is good, but as we said, their free throw shooting percentage has struggled, so they got to pick that up here a little bit.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half of this Division II state championship game, and we start things off with Whitefish Bay. Our first highlight on the way, Cal Erkey on the baseline. Nice move, splitting through the defense. Followed by that, Sam Artisan, the Badger football recruit, with a nice move in the paint. You really like this player as well, Paul Jesperson.
Yeah, he's been impressive. He's just cool as a cucumber. He's been great all weekend, and Virginia's getting a good one.
Keelan Johnson's not playing like a sophomore.
No, you can't tell at all. You think that kid's a sophomore. He's just really good.
Patton saw that his defender was taking a chance on that one. He got a little bit of daylight and fired off that shot.
He got some room, and he buried the jumper.
David Jesperson, part of those three-point shots by the Blue Jays. And then Keelan Johnson again. They push it up the court so quickly. That was after a scrum down on the other side of the court, and they just pushed it up to 94 feet of this court.
Well, as we said, the field goal shooting percentage for both teams is really good. And from the three ball for Merrill, it's really good, and see what happens in the second half.
Leading scorers, Paul Jesperson for Merrill, Keelan Johnson for Whitefish Bay. We're going to take a break. A message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. It's a three-point game at the start of the third quarter. Whitefish Bay in front 23-20. It's a close game. These two teams are used to close games. A buzzer-beating win yesterday for Whitefish Bay. Prior to that, an overtime one-point victory in the sectional final. Merrill won yesterday by 3. Their sectional final, they won by 3. So they're really familiar with the position they're in right now heading into the second half.
Well, the Merrill coaches commented yesterday to me that 10 of their games, 10 of the 20-some games they've played this year have all come down to the wire, so they're both very familiar with it. If I'm Merrill, I keep trying to punch the ball inside because Whitefish Bay has piled up the fouls on their big men, and that could be a real key for Merrill in the second half. If I'm Whitefish Bay, I want to try and push play, push the pace a little bit more in the second half, because that's when they've had success so far in this game.
Merrill starts out inbounding the ball, and we are underway in the third quarter. Merrill in the blue uniforms, Whitefish Bay in the white. Paul Jesperson on the baseline. That's an offensive foul.
Great defense by Cal Erkey there. He anticipated Jesperson going to his right. He cut him off. Jesperson knocked him over and drew the charge.
Jesperson is second.
2 personal fouls now for Paul Jesperson.
It's a good matchup to watch, Erkey and Jesperson.
Anton with the basketball. Johnson around the left side. Out on the wing, kicks it back out to Anton.
Anton hit 2 threes yesterday and been a little quieter today, so we'll see if he gets a chance to help his team out on the offensive end.
Patton backs his way in, spins and goes up and under and scores.
Excellent move by the post player there. Balance himself up, turn him squared up, and then attack the glass.
Stretches out the lead to 5. Waller has the ball at the top. Andreska now with it. David Jesperson inside, looking for a cutter. It ends up and goes into Waller's hands, and he scores.
Matt Waller.
They must have been listening to you. Get the ball inside. Chris Wetler said so.
Well, you know, that always is a big help. Makes sense. Full foul.
An offensive foul called on Jamie Schneck.
His third, I'm sorry.
3 personal fouls for Schneck.
Number 50, Jamie Schneck.
So he's got 3, Beck's got 3, Patton's got 2. Keep shoving it down their throats, Merrill. Keep going into the paint.
Let's see if they listen to you again on this possession. Paul Jesperson spins around, short corner off the back of the iron. Tracked down by Andreska. They kick it back out to David Jesperson. Arneson with it. Paul Jesperson had a move yesterday where he stole the ball, kept it from going out of bounds. He got a nice assist there. Matt Waller cutting to the basket.
So valuable to move without the ball there, and Jesperson sees his teammate Waller cutting to the basket. Anton got caught overplaying there, and they got him for a nice backdoor layup.
Patton on the perimeter, tried for three, in and out. Rebound Arneson. Paul Jesperson for three. Patton with the rebound.
Not sure that was the possession Coach Soderberg wanted that time with a chance to take the lead.
Anton controlling it for the Blue Dukes. Nice entry pass. They go inside to Schneck. Turns around. We got a foul. We're going to take another look there, Chris.
You can see the overplay on the wing there. Excuse me. It was by Johnson, not Anton. And Waller saw it, cut back door, and Jesperson found him. It's a real advantage to have a guy 6'7", passing the ball out on the perimeter for you.
And speaking of cutting to the basket, Keelan Johnson does that. That was after the foul by Sam Arneson.
Nice set play there, called by Coach Lazar.
Goes by Keelan Johnson.
Jesperson for three. Got it.
Paul Jesperson for three.
That three was a little bit better for Jesperson to take because he got a little screen from his teammate there, and he was just a little bit more on balance there and squared up.
And just like that, this game is all tied up at 27 apiece.
Not that we didn't expect that.
Anton with it now, the entry pass, gets it in. Schneck can't finish at the rim.
Whitefish Bay's gone inside their last four possessions. That's a good move by them.
Jesperson pulls up for three again, ends up sliding on the floor.
3 straight possessions of 3 balls by Jesperson.
These teams are identical from the field goal. Patton turns around, nice shot. He was out a little bit deeper than where they've been feeding him before, but it doesn't make any difference when he has that range.
Yeah, especially when you get squared up and you have the confidence he has right now, you know it's going to be good.
Patton guarding David Jesperson. The handoff to Paul Jesperson through the legs around the right side. Tried to turn the corner.
Trying to attack Schneck there, see if he can pick up his 4th foul.
Paul Jesperson with the left. Has it taken away. Merrill keeps it. Jesperson has it now. He goes back up. That's off glass. Battled around. Patton almost had it. Merrill keeps it. Jesperson spins. There was contact.
Jesperson is an excellent one-on-one player, and he really uses his body so well to create space.
That foul is on Johnson. Paul Jesperson at the line now for 2 free throws. There's going to be a couple of substitutions for the Blue Dukes.
You know, he might have got away with an offensive foul there, but he does a good job of creating space and drawing fouls. And, you know, I guess the official could have gone either way on that one.
Connor Weiss and Will Davis check into the game for Whitefish Bay. First time Jesperson made a free throw this evening, and he's good on both. That's where they struggled in the first half as a team.
Which is a surprise because he's at 82% for the season from there, and he's shot a ton of them, so he got his rhythm back there that time.
Davis all the way through traffic, and he drew 3 defenders and found Johnson getting free cutting.
It's such an advantage to have a kid that can penetrate through the defense, who then can find his teammates who can get good quality shots, and that's exactly what happened there.
Andreska, David Jesperson, inside, Arneson's wide open.
Well, Arneson set a monster screen on Davis, kind of stunned him a little bit. Then he rolled to the basket, and Davis couldn't fight him because he didn't know where he was.
Arneson with a block on Urke.
Could have been a good trifecta there for Arneson there. Good screen, roll the basket if he'd have made the layup, because then he made a great block down on this on the defensive end of the floor.
And we take another look at it right there, blocked out of bounds. Whitefish Bay has it. Erke trying to send it in. It's poked away. Whitefish Bay is going to keep control of the basketball.
That last defensive block by Arneson there was a great lesson for young kids there. He squared up, he chested up. He didn't leave his feet to try and block it until that ball was released by the offensive player. And that lowers the risk of him getting called for a foul.
Davis with it now. Patton out deep. Tries the long three. Knocks it down. Wow, the CF game.
Now just look at him. Just look at him. He's just confidence is just flowing out of him there right now. He doesn't think there's anybody in the building who can stop him.
A few moments ago, it was tie. All of a sudden, it's a 5-point Whitefish Bay lead. Offensive foul on Andreska. There's an elbow to the face.
I tell you, Davis is a tough kid too. He stuck his nose literally right in there.
All right, we're going to take a break. A message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Those fans are having a fantastic time here. The all blue, the Blue Dukes and the Blue Jays. It's a 34-29 lead for Whitefish Bay. That 5-point lead after Merrill twice tied it, but Patton has really come alive in this quarter.
Well, like I've said all weekend, the guy's had a tremendous weekend for himself, and there's just no way to stop him. He's been inside, he's been outside, he can put it on the floor and pull up and shoot it. He can put it on the floor and get all the way to the rim. I'm waiting for him to jam one here. That's the only thing about we haven't seen here in the last 2 days, so we'll see if that's coming yet.
He posted up early on in the low block. It's almost like you could take a line and go straight out on an angle, because then he got out to about 15 feet, spins around, faces up and hits. He goes out and hits a three-pointer from the wing. That one's a try for three, rattles out. Whitefish Bay keeps it.
Going to get Andreska for a foul.
That's going to go on Andreska, Kyle Andreska. Kevin Lazovic calling out a set play, it looks like, for Whitefish Bay.
And line out of bounds, that's what you should do. It's a great chance to run a set and score off it. Timeout, Whitefish
There's another whistle. That's their timeout. So it's a 34-29 lead for Whitefish Bay with 2:18 to go here. What are these coaches going to discuss as they head into their respective huddles?
Well, I'm not quite sure why Coach Lazovic called a timeout there. Obviously, he saw something that he thinks he can take advantage of for the Merrill Blue Jays there and try and open it up to a 7-point lead there. I think that Coach Soderberg and Merrill's got to just relax a little bit. They seem to have lost their composure a little bit the last minute or so. I think they need to get it back here. And there again, their fouls are mounting up for them. They got 14 fouls now in the third quarter, so they got to be careful that they don't get Whitefish Bay into the bonus too early here.
You saw a Wisconsin State map there. Merrill located about 20 miles north of Wausau up there in Lincoln County, and Whitefish Bay in the northern part of Milwaukee County there. You take a look at the numbers for Merrill in their state semifinal. So fans coming from all over the state down here to the capital city to watch some fantastic basketball this week. Coming right out of the set, Davis off the back of the iron. It's off Merrill, and the Blue Dukes are going to keep it.
Well, they got the shot that they wanted, just didn't go for Davis there. But again, the 50-50 balls or the loose change is going to Whitefish Bay's way.
Erke looks to send it in as Patton steps back off the front. It's going to be off of Merrill. Oh, no, Merrill's going to keep it. I thought that was off of Blue Jay.
He might have been feeling a little bit too confident on that possession there. Big possession here for Merrill now. Aren't they all, though?
They are huge.
State finals.
Yeah, you think about those empty possessions, and what if you come back at the end of the game, you take a look at that film. That one was in and out. Johnson right through the inside, kicks it out. Davis on the baseline. He kicks it out to Patton for three. He's got it. Patton for three. He hits again. 37-29 Blue Dukes.
Well, I'll tell you, those two guards, Davis and Johnson, they set that up. Johnson set up Davis first. Davis couldn't get it. Then he penetrated and he set up Patton. Excellent team basketball there.
Fight for the loose ball. Arneson gets that shot up there and draws contact.
I think Patton got away with a over back call there.
And that foul is on Will Davis.
That's his first team's third.
First personal foul, 3 team fouls. Arneson at the free throw line. Arneson, who averages a little more than 6 points a game, 4.5 rebounds a game.
Right now, Merrill, if they don't end up winning this game, they're going to look at the charity stripe as being something that was real problem for them this evening.
Arneson, he connects on the second. So Merrill keeping it within range. Dish by Johnson, that's knocked out of bounds. Whitefish Bay keeps control of the basketball.
The state of Wisconsin's got to deal with Davis and Johnson next year. One's a junior, one's a sophomore.
Talented players.
They play very confident.
Davis kicks it out. Erke for 3.
Once again, all set up by a guard penetrating, drawing the defense, finding the open man for the 3 ball. That's just great team basketball.
It's a 10-point advantage for the Dukes. Jesperson and Jesperson with the basketball. Paul Jesperson on the baseline, goes up and under. It's out. Tries to put it back up.
Bodies on the floor everywhere.
Arneson for 3. In and out. Still fighting for it, and there's a whistle.
Great play. There's the penetration by Davis.
Keelan Johnson, his third, team's 4th.
And his teammate Weiss. Weiss makes him look really good. Him and his teammate by nothing but netting a 3 ball.
That foul is on Keelan Johnson. Another one of those missed free throws.
This was a big play by Wooler to get to the free throw line. Now he needs to take care of something here, knock a free throw down here to help his team get off that schneid where they haven't scored in a while.
Paul Anton, the 5'9" senior guard, checks into the game. Merrill with an offensive rebound, so they keep the possession alive.
30 seconds in the quarter.
Patton flash shot on top on Jesperson. He tries a triple and knocks it down.
Great defense, too, by Erke. It was just good basketball both ways. Great defense, but a better shot.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Whitefish Bay in front by 7. They held the lead after the first and second quarters. Erke for 3. Front of the rim. Merrill with a chance, but it's taken away by Anton. Another chance now. Patton for 3. In and out. And we are done with 3 quarters of play. 40-33, Blue Dukes in the lead. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. We are back at the end of 3 quarters of play. The WIAA game summary is brought to you by Charter Communications. Bring your home to life with the Charter Bundle. Chris, you talked about at the half about Merrill having to get inside. They're getting in there, drawing contact, but they're just not converting at the free throw line.
No, they did not have a very good shooting third quarter that time. They started out their first 3 possessions, if you remember, and they went inside. They scored on 2 out of those first 3. Then I think Paul Jesperson got a little bit anxious, tried to carry a little bit too much on his shoulders by himself. I'm guessing he probably took at least a half a dozen 3 balls that quarter. Made a couple of them, but I'd like to see him now get everybody more involved. We'll see what kind of fourth quarter they have today compared to what they had yesterday.
And this, speaking of what they had yesterday, they outscored Wanakee, the top-ranked team, 20-9, and that was 6 of 9 on field goals yesterday. Whitefish Bay shooting 50% from the field today.
So you could say they're familiar position again.
They are. Here we go. We look forward to the final 8 minutes of regulation here in the Division II state semifinal or state championship game. Patton on the outside. Steps closer and he hits it. That's a 2 for Patton.
If I got a tourney MVP so far the last 2 days, it's him.
It's quite the player. Paul Jesperson on the left side, tried to find a teammate inside. It's poked away. Merrill keeps it. Andreska is going to send it in for Merrill. Paul Jesperson with a deep 3, and that one's off the mark.
Dukes will keep pushing for a while anyways. Good quality possession every time down the floor now. They're up 9 points with 7 minutes to go.
Keelan Johnson inside into the paint, goes to the left hand, draws the contact, and it's good. Arneson's on the floor. Foul on Sam Arneson.
Once again, their guards are scary. They're not afraid of anything. Goes in, attacks the basket. He gets the sweep bounce there. Arneson did a nice job of trying to draw the charge there, just didn't get the call.
That was a highlight reel play. Keelan Johnson well above his season average.
We'd asked Coach Lazovic on Wednesday about how well Patton and Johnson and Davis were going to play, and if they'd have been playing this well, I think he'd been a happy guy. He probably would have had a lot more sleep this week.
Jesperson stopping that Blue Dukes run there. It was an 11-point game following that free throw by the Blue Dukes.
It's a big hoop by the Blue Jays.
Ball's in Johnson's hands quite a bit. Anton now with it at the W.
I don't see Davis staying out of this game much longer either.
There's Schneck. Oh, Schneck around the corner, poked out of bounds by David Jesperson.
Thought he got away with a walk, but that's the way it goes.
Kevin Lazovic shouting out his instructions as the Blue Dukes send it inbounds. Erke with the basketball. Johnson with a look inside, goes to the left hand and off the glass. Gets inside and around his man so quickly and has a way of finishing.
And he's only a sophomore. It's fearless.
Oh, like Paul Jesperson took it off his nose.
You can just tell Merrill's body language, etc., looks a little out of sync.
Jesperson for three off the front. Big board by Schneck. He can go up and get it. 6'8".
Coach Soderberg said the only way they could have a chance to win the state championship this weekend coming into here was that Jesperson had to play big both games. He was big yesterday, struggled a little bit the second half today. Someone else they got to step up. They can't rely on him the whole second half here.
Andreska poked that ball away. Whitefish Bay is going to have the basketball. In the meantime, Kurt Soderberg calls for a timeout. We're going to take a break. 46:35. A message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. And we are back. It's a 46-35 advantage for Whitefish Bay in a Division II state championship game. 5:27 to go. We have some numbers to show you here and just how good Patton and Johnson have been. Combined, they have 34 points. Merrill as a team, just one more.
Well, and Whitefish Bay has played tremendous team basketball tonight, and we all know when that happens, you got everybody involved, playing with a lot of confidence. It usually means you win.
They go inside and outside, and there's a foul called. We're going to go the other way.
Wooler was able to draw the charge on Cal Erke, who was a little bit out of control after he dumped the ball off to his teammate.
Wooler urging his teammates on. Let's go, let's go.
Like I said earlier, show Waller and Andreska and Thistle, those guys are fiery guys. You got to like those three players.
You know, Kurt Soderberg wanted to talk strategy with his team, but he has only played one person off his bench, so he gives his guys some rest here down the stretch. That foul on Johnson, it looks like, from behind.
Well, which we thought that would be a huge factor yesterday, and yet they go on a 20-9 run against Wanakee in the fourth quarter. But can they do it 2 days in a row on a college court, 10 feet longer? We'll see.
Keelan Johnson called for his fourth personal foul. There's going to be a substitution as Will Davis checks in at the scorer's table. There's the horn, and Davis comes in as Johnson takes a seat on the bench.
Pretty nice luxury to have one go out that's done what he's done, and then you bring in a guy like Davis, who I just love the way he plays. He's so smart and he's so tenacious. It's a good luxury for a coach to have, and Coach Lazovic uses them both very well.
Yeah, he can push the tempo, and he can get inside and create and find some teammates to finish.
Again, now Whitefish Bay's got to remember they got a 9-point lead here with under 5 minutes to go. Just play smart. Yesterday they struggled with that. They built that lead over Wanakee, and then they turned it over like 5 times around. Some of it was like this. Too much dribbling by Patton there, I thought.
Davis in the corner goes inside. Schneck draws contact, and it's good.
Why would you do anything else right now? They could run that weave outside with their guards. They can dump it inside to two post players like this. Again, that was a quality possession by the Blue Dukes.
As we take another look right there, Schneck heads to the free throw line. That foul is on Sam Arneson. He now has 4. 4:37 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Remember, he's their leading scorer, and he has hardly, as far as points total this weekend, been very quiet.
Paul Jesperson, guarded by Patton, gets inside. There's a block, and there's a foul.
I think they're going to get Davis.
Yep, they got Davis on that one. He has 2 now, 2 fouls. 17 fouls now for the Blue Dukes. Paul Jesperson knocks down the first. Man, he shoots 83% from the free throw line on the year.
He's made 3 in a row now, so he's got his rhythm back.
WBCA first team All-State, a unanimous pick this year by the coaches voting committee.
No brainer.
Davis with the basketball. Patton now, guarded by Paul Jesperson.
Back to their flex set here a little bit. Baseline cutters, and
Erke has it now at the top. Checking his options on the inside. Davis now. And there's Schneck.
Lane line passes there, and then they're looking for a baseline cutter. They could run it all night if they needed to.
Erke's running that baseline. There's Anton. They go inside to Schneck off the side of the rim. He follows up his own miss.
That's just pure athleticism there by Schneck. It was an excellent pass. Again, another great possession. Schneck couldn't handle the first one, but he stayed with it, kept his composure, and finished.
Patton poked that ball away from Jesperson. Anton with it now. He weaves his way through the Blue Jays. Looking up court, and he can bring it back and let that clock run a little bit more. It's a 3-point advantage.
Under 3.5 to go. They got so many weapons here. They could do so many things in the last 3 minutes.
Anton, no-look pass. Erke, all is off the backside. Paul Jesperson between the legs, around Patton, all the way into the rim, off the side. Schneck looked like he had it, and then ripped by Waller. That's a tied-up ball. Merrill's going to keep possession of the basketball underneath their own basket. 3:04 to go here, and there's a timeout taken by the Merrill Blue Jays. 51-39, Whitefish Bay is in front in the D2 title game. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Fans having a fantastic time down here in Madison. Whitefish Bay in front, 51-39, 3:04 to go. Kurt Soderberg just called the timeout. You can see the clock running. Whitefish Bay running the clock when they have possession of the basketball. He doesn't want to let things get away. What does he need to do here for his team to get a stop and make a run in the final 3.5?
Well, again, 3 minutes is a lot of time. It's getting desperate here now, though. But they've got to, each time they touch the ball down, and they got to get 1 point per possession. And again, I think Paul Jesperson's got to try and get some of his other teammates involved here. Keep attacking the basket, I say that. But when they swarm on him, look for a teammate for a little dump-off pass. I think that'd be more successful for him to do. But they got to score in this possession. Quickly, I got to say happy birthday to my daughter who's 25 and my mom who's going to be 90.
All right, happy birthday. Andreski gets it inside. Waller with the left hand off the glass, wiped off by Schneck.
Good move by Matt Waller. He just couldn't finish.
Schneck's come up with some big rebounds in the last couple of minutes. And Waller's getting called for reaching in.
Be 1-on-1 the rest of the way now.
Falls on Merrill's number 4, Matt Waller. That's his
It is a 1-on-1, 1-and-1, excuse me. Davis heads to the free throw line. Checking into the game now is Keelan Johnson with his 4 fouls. Anton heads to the bench. Davis gave him a little laugh. Like, you're the one going out. I'm shooting a free throw.
They've been real solid on the line all night long.
That's where you put games on ice. His first point.
Sure.
5 assists.
Got to score in a hurry here for Merrill, but do it under control.
David Jesperson from beyond three-point land.
They don't have the same legs they had yesterday.
Here comes Patton the other way.
Smart play by Patton. Smart play.
Merrill was getting back on defense, but it's more important for them to run the clock at this point.
Merrill looks tired.
Johnson brings it back out. Guarded by Wooler.
They give it up. There you go.
Going back. We're going to get a timeout.
Good call by Coach Lazovic. I thought Johnson was really called for a 5-second call.
Was there a foul called? It was a timeout.
Believe so. It was
Okay,
timeout by
all right,
Coach
that's what it was. All right, it was a timeout call at 53-39. So you're seeing the legs get heavy for the Blue Jays. They've only had one person sub in off the bench in this entire ballgame.
Well, and their shooting the second half shows that, because they were over 50%. I think they were 53% at halftime. Now, if you look at it, they've really dropped below there in the second half. I got them 12 for 35, and so their shooting woes have really shown up here in the second half. Instead of them being fresh and nailing shots like they did against Wanakee, they've gone the opposite way today.
9 of 9 from the free throw line is really biting them.
You mean 9 of 19?
9 of 19, excuse me. Yeah, the 9 of 19.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
I just had double check.
Right. He just nodded me. Yeah, whatever you said, Brian. Sure.
Whatever.
Just reading the numbers here. I'm not even reading them correctly.
Well, you're not a math teacher.
Yeah, no.
Whitefish Bay will spread the floor. They'll look for a dunk or try and draw a foul.
Davis and Johnson at the top. Patton with it now.
I'm not so sure Merrill has any choice but to start fouling.
Schneck draws the foul and scores, and he has a chance at a three-point play.
That might be your dagger.
That might be. Let's take another look.
To steal the line from Wayne Larrabee. When they go and trap in defense like that half court, invariably they usually find somebody on the baseline open. That's where those big guys like that, they're just salivating there because they love to get the loose balls and then they get a chance to dunk one there. That didn't happen there for Schneck, but he's still going to get a chance for a 4-point play.
Matt Thistle checks into the ballgame now for Sam Arneson. Schneck trying to complete a 3-point play.
Really well-balanced Whitefish Bay team.
Really a close game until the fourth quarter when Whitefish Bay has been able to pull away. Paul Jesperson for 3, back rim. Urke with the rebound.
We're going to get on Dreska, I believe, for a foul. The Blue Dukes are feeling it.
Going to walk back the other way.
Dukes crowd's making a lot of noise. This is outstanding.
Yeah, this is a great time down here, and the crowd's filling in for the Division I state championship game as well. Madison Memorial over on the same side as Whitefish Bay.
They always bring that green to the field house around St. Patty's Day, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Only 8 years in a row now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a staple here at the Kohl Center.
Collins does a heck of a job over there.
Urke is good. Blue Dukes are going to make a substitution.
Well, there's your contrast on the free throw line there. Whitefish Bay is 10 for 13 on the line, and Merrill 9 for 19.
Urke's good on both. There's going to be a substitution for the shooter. Anton comes back into the ballgame.
Neither coach is willing to empty their bench just yet.
Anton, 5'9", senior guard. 1:47 to go, 57-39. Ball poked away by Schneck.
Merrill tried to run that fade screen there again to the younger Jesperson, and Schneck read it perfectly.
David Jesperson inbounds to his older brother, Paul.
They got to remember this forever, those
Paul
two playing together.
You bet. Schneck tracks down another rebound.
Got Merrill with a push.
Schneck
may have walked, but maybe it's because he got pushed.
That's what I thought it was too. Instead, Schneck is going to head to the free throw line.
Also number 34, Kyle Andreska.
That foul is on Kyle Andreska. He has 3 fouls.
Schneck is 3 for 4 from the line so far tonight. Now Coach Lazvik's going down to the end of the bench there to see if he can bring in, thinking about bringing in some subs.
Good on the first one. No one's gone to the scorer's table yet. They're getting ready to show off their uniforms, though.
Put me in, Coach.
They're ready. They're ready to come in.
They're untucking them.
They are. Schneck 2 for 2 from the free throw line on that trip.
I think it'd be safe to bring him in. 20-point lead with a minute and a half to go now.
Yeah, I would say so. Blue Jays still fighting hard here in the final minute and a half. Ball Jesperson for 3. That rattles out. Dreska, the follow-up and through, and a quick timeout by Kurt Soderberg. He wants a full timeout. His team down 18 with a minute 18 to go. It is a full timeout on the court.
Good offensive rebound put back there by the Blue Jays.
A couple of standout games. Whitefish Bay, Johnson with 17 points and Patton with 17. And Schneck has really come alive in the second half, at least from the scoring, 13. He's been hitting his free throws.
As I stated earlier, it's just been a great display of team basketball for Whitefish Bay. You know, and Merrill's had the Jesperson kid all year. They relied on him all year. Other kids have done a great job doing what they had to do. But I think it was just too much to overcome to play the kind of team basketball Whitefish Bay played this weekend. They were able to play team basketball there because, you know, they were fresh all weekend. They have multiple guys that have contributed, and that just is, you love it as a coach when you're playing that way and you've got everybody involved and everybody contributing.
A couple of dream seasons to play in the state championship. A 9-5 record in the North Shore, second place for Whitefish Bay. The 19-8 coming into the state final in the Merrill Blue Jays, 16-11, a 5-7 record in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. But they put it together at the end of the season and went on a roll and won some close games to get all the way in here to play in the Kohl Center on a Saturday night. And either way, you're going to come home with a trophy.
Well, you know what? You're going to be 6-0 in the tournament time, and that's all that counts. Getting their non-conference and their conference schedule really paid off for them.
They get it inside, and that foul on Waller. Took a shot in the mouth as well.
Unintentional. Just an aggressive play, unintentional.
We do have Delta Dental standing by as well.
Waller, that's his 5th.
Waller has 5 fouls. Fouls out with 6 points on the evening.
He is checking his tooth there, too. Yeah, I think his teeth did hit the guy's head. Great year for a senior there, great young man, and he'll remember his experience here.
Sam Cabey, a senior guard, gets a chance to check into the ball game.
Also a senior, get a chance to get on the course.
Davis at the free throw line makes the first.
And this guy's been tough also. Here they come, they're clearing the bench.
I know as a head coach, you always want to give a lot of props to the assistant coaches as well. Jim Smallins, Kevin Moore, Ron Radmer, and Chris Wentworth for Whitefish Bay. It really is a team effort on the coaching staff. Patton with the big stuff and an exclamation point for Whitefish Bay.
That's the only thing he hadn't done all weekend, and then he finally gets it here with a minute to go, and what an exclamation point that was for him and the Blue Dukes. Congratulations. Instead, March Madness is now turned in March Gladness for the Blue Dukes.
He stuffs it through and gets to hop around in front of his teammates and heads back to the bench. And the student section comes to their feet, and mass substitutions now as these two teams are clearing out their benches. Let's take another look, Chris. This is what you've been waiting for all night.
We were kind of wondering if it was going to happen, and it sure did, and what a time for it to happen for the young man. And he is very happy right now, and he's going to enjoy this moment for a long time.
Since I mentioned the assistant coaches for Whitefish Bay, we'll mention those for Merrill as well in just a moment. But Ron Patton, look at what he did yesterday with 14 points, 19 tonight, 14 of those coming after the break.
Well, once again, a guy who's on the freshman B team, his first year organized high school basketball. What a way he's come. Long, you know, and Coach Lazvik talked about him as being a big story for them. And they're just everybody in the Whitefish Bay School is really happy for Mr. Ron Patton. And he's gone out and shown them and put on a display these last 2 days that a lot of people are going to remember.
We have brand new players checking into the game. The assistant coaches for Merrill, Robin Smith, Tom Andreska, Jay Peterson, Sean Schultz, and Mitch Osnes. Those coaches, they put those game plans together. They do the scouting, they do all the coaching, and it's a great time for them to be down here as well.
Everybody pitches in to do their jobs, and you know, you won't make it here without a great staff surrounding you and great people surrounding you.
Paul Jesperson draws the contact. Now Merrill is clearing out the bench.
We talked about Coach Smiles. Remember, he was coach Milwaukee Lincoln in 1966 and 67. I think he won back-to-back state championships there.
Yeah.
That's a valuable man to have on your bench with his experience there.
Yeah, those teams at Lincoln. Wow, those are those powerhouse teams, and you talk about and you read about in the record books.
I believe Coach Smile was part of 60-some in a row out of that Lincoln crew.
Amazing. Woodliff, Alt, Menard, Umlin, and Beck on the court for Whitefish Bay. Another substitution now for Merrill. Merrill, that's number 10, Adam Smith. Paul Jesperson at the free throw line. Sam Cabey is in there. He checked in earlier.
Now in for Merrill, number 10, Adam Smith.
55, Jared Wardall is in the game for the Merrill Blue Jays. Adam Smith, number 10, is in there as well. And it's the final minute to go here in the D2 state title game. 62-43, the Blue Dukes pushing the finishing touches on a state championship run. Back with a three.
The big fella downtown.
Man, is he pumped up.
Well, next year playing football at Drake, he's not going to have a chance to do that very often unless it's in a Merrill, so he did a great.
Cabey comes back and hits a shot. And there's a timeout by Kurt Soderberg and the Merrill Blue Jays.
Any kind of points that any of these guys can put up in the last minute is something that they're going to remember for a long time.
How much fun is that? Look at that shot. Sam Cabey.
He's going, Coach, where was I, the whole game? Why didn't you put me in earlier?
Kelly Garth, number 20, is now in the game for Whitefish Bay as well. For a 30-second timeout on the floor. Well, that's a lot of fun.
How about Jack Beck, 22 feet? Yeah, the defensive lineman. Yeah, I can shoot it too.
This has been entertaining. Kurt Soderberg in his 4th year at Merrill, 10th overall. They're going to take a silver trophy back to Merrill.
And hey, as long as you put something in your trophy case when you start the year, you put a trophy in your trophy case, you know you accomplished something, and they're going to be very proud of that.
As Jerry Pettigrew says, everyone's a winner on Saturday night. And sometimes it's hard to think about, and this is such a pinnacle in your sporting career that if you walk off of here losing this game, you're still a state runner-up, and how many teams would love to be state runner-up?
Right. When you leave on Friday or get beat on Friday, that really hurts. Saturday, it hurts a little bit, but not quite as much because you still get to rub that silver ball at least.
It's so much fun to go through the pregame introductions. They shut the lights out, you hear the music, you have the spotlight on, you get the introductions, you get the juices flowing. It's so much fun to be here on a Saturday.
They'll be talking about it at each other's weddings in about 10, 15 years.
Cole Woodliff at the free throw line, number 14. Another substitution. Joe Sherburne checks into the game. He is number 40 in your program. He's a freshman. You can look forward to a couple more trips coming back
on here this weekend.
And if time allows for it, there could be another substitution for Whitefish Bay. It is going to keep jacking up threes. Why not, right? Just grab the rebounds. Wardall got one.
I got to get my name on the stat sheet.
Final 10 seconds. He'll go for a steal. They get it inside. Wardall off the back of the rim and a big rebound. And a traveling violation. 5.7 seconds to go. And hey, why not? Another substitution.
Kelly Garth got up there. I don't know if you noticed that. He was up.
He did. Darian Walker is in the game now. Did we get everybody? Has everybody checked in?
As an assistant coach we can put in.
Pull up those players from the JV. Let's hit another three. Mitchell Check. That's the first time we mention his name, and he's in the record book now. He's got a 3-point. And Whitefish Bay is your Division II WIAA state champions. Congratulations to the Blue Dukes and the Blue Jays. We're going to hand out some hardware when we come back. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Time for us to hand out trophies and medals. We send it to PA announcer Rick Torgerin.
The WIAA Board of Control invites you to participate in the awards ceremony for these two fine teams that have just completed your tournament competition. Making the presentation will be Board of Control members Keith Posley, Administrative Specialist at Milwaukee Public Schools, and Jack Klebzadal, Director of Student Activities at Germantown High School. Also, Jim Smazzo, current Board of Control President and Principal at Winneconne High School. Assisting them will be Dave Anderson, Executive Director of the WIAA. At this time, I'd like each player from the Merrill Blue Jays to come forward as your name is read to receive your individual medal. Paul Thoreen, Matt Waller, Sam Cady, Adam Smith, David Jesperson, Paul Jesperson, Ben Anderson, Matt Thistle, Greg Boyce, Mitchell Check, Kyle Andreska, Sam Arneson, and Jared Wardle. And now will Coach Kurt Soderberg please step forward to receive your team trophy. Congratulations to the Merrill Blue Jays. And now will each player for the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes step forward as your name is read to receive your individual medal. Will Davis, Paul Anton, Cole Woodliff, Kelly Garth, Justin Alt, Keelan Johnson, Grant Menard, Dan Umland, Cal Erkey, Joe Sherburn, Connor Weiss, Ron Patton, Jamie Schneck, Darian Walker, and Jack Beck. And now will Coach Kevin Lazovic please step forward to receive your team trophy.
Whitefish Bay is your Division II state champion. Head coach Kevin Lazovic hoisting that trophy up there with his Blue Dukes. He won one as a player. Now he gets to hoist one up there as a head coach.
There's not a better feeling in the world as far as the high school basketball program and coach and community goes. Congratulations to the Blue Dukes.
What a terrific season by Merrill. It does come to an end with a silver trophy, a lot to be proud of for the Blue Jays. Hey, let's take a look at our play of the game. Wisconsin Corn Growers play of the game, brought to you by the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association, working hard to provide food and fuel to America. Why not Patton with a three-pointer, knocking that shot down. Whitefish Bay is your Division II state champion with a 65-49 win over the Merrill Blue Jays. And the Blue Dukes are over there in front of their fans posing for pictures, and we'll talk with Kevin Lazovic as soon as he gets a chance to come on over. And I'm just going to take a shot in the dark that Patton will be with him. What do you think?
I think there's a good chance of that.
Thought maybe we could throw up that back three-pointer as a play of the game.
Yeah,
That was fun to watch, too. This was a close game throughout. We got into the fourth quarter, and Whitefish Bay really pulled away. Kind of take us through what they did to win this game.
Well, I think it was team basketball. I think that Merrill wore down as the weekend went on. You know, they had that big push, that big emotional win yesterday. They were pretty solid in the first half today, but then I think their legs got tired. Then I think mentally and physically they wore down a little bit. And they just didn't have much left on the second half. Meanwhile, I thought Whitefish Bay had a great display of team basketball there. Many people involved, many people stepping up to the plate and having big nights for them. 2 nights in a row, back-to-back for them. So, again, I think it was just a clear-cut case of a team playing basketball together, beating a team that was really trying to rely on one guy as the game went on.
And now it's 4 years in a row that the state Division II champion has come out of that southeast sectional, out of that Al McGuire Center.
Well, again, there's great basketball down in that area, and there always has been, and there always will be, and congratulations to them and the coaches down in that area. And again, congratulations to Merrill for a great year.
All right, it looks like Kevin Lazovic and Ron Patton are headed on down there. We have another star player that'll be talking with Jason Geiser, so we're going to send it over to Jason. They are ready. Jason, take it away.
Brian Groff, thank you very much. I am joined by the Division II state champions from Whitefish Bay, Coach Kevin Lazovic. You won a title here as a player and now as a coach. Can you compare and contrast the two?
Both are great feelings. To play with such great players and have such great coaches, and then to coach such great players and coach with such great coaches, they're both phenomenal. I couldn't be happier for our team. We've done a great job this year, and we worked hard for this.
A 13-3 run in the third quarter that pretty much gave you the cushion that you needed. What was the difference there?
We picked up our tempo, both on offense and defense. We started defending hard harder on their screens, and then we were able to push tempo and penetrate and make some big baskets.
Keelan Johnson, you averaged 7 points a game during the regular season. Now, yesterday you put up 13 and 17 today. What got into you on the big stage?
I don't know, man. I just wanted to play hard out there and just, do it for the seniors. It was their last year, so I just wanted to get them a win.
Congratulations, young man. Coming over to Ron Patton. Ron, you're big game yesterday, big game again today, 19-9 for you. What does it feel like to hoist that gold ball?
Oh, man, I can't even explain. Words can't explain right now how I feel, man. It's my last year, man. I just have to do it for my team, man. Words can I explain? I just feel great, man.
To end your senior season on a tip-in yesterday, and then with a big 20-point victory today, could it have been written any better?
Yeah, it couldn't have been written any better than this, man. This all I just wanted to go out and play hard for my team, and that's what I did. We got the win.
Whitefish Bay claims the championship, their third in school history. Brian Groff, let's head back on over to you courtside.
All right, thank you very much. That sums it up, the smiles on the faces of the players.
He should have talked about his dunk there at the end.
We were waiting all game for that. Let's take a look at the highlights from this game. So many good ones to take a look at, especially when you think about guys like Keelan Johnson and Ron Patton. There's Merrill on their end with Matt Waller.
Backdoor layup for a basket.
And they were getting inside like we talked about in the half that you thought that they needed to do. Paul Jesperson, he put up a lot of shots. They had to do that when they got to a point where this game was getting away from them, and he just kept putting up the threes.
Well, he's carried them on his shoulders all year long, so you expected him to try and do it again in the fourth quarter here today.
Patton was just hitting from all over the place. He was on the block. He was going on mid-range. He hits a three-pointer there.
My tournament MVP.
Yeah, who else do you like on your All-State team? Who are you going to put in on your ballot?
Well, obviously you got to have Jesperson right there. He deserves to be on there as well. And we'll see about the others there.
He's going to move on and play college basketball.
Keelan Johnson's a good choice as well.
sophomore. Each of these teams had a sophomore in their starting lineup, surrounded by 4 seniors, a lot of senior leadership, some good playmakers at that sophomore level. Jamie Schneck, what a tournament for him. He came up huge in the second half. He's the one that had that tip in the semifinal.
Yeah, and there again, you know, their leading scorer all year long. He shows up big in the 4th quarter of the state championship game. Great team effort by the Blue Jays.
Whitefish Bay shot 56% from the field.
Well, in the second half, you saw, because the Blue Jays were over 50% at halftime, you saw them end up at 36%, so that they just had an awful second half of shooting the basketball.
They really pulled away in that second half. They were leading by 3 after the first quarter and at the halftime, and then a 7-point game after the 3rd quarter, and then they really stretched it out when they got to that 20-point margin.
Can't say enough about their effort as a total team and everybody involved. They were just deeper and proved to be more mentally tough and stronger than Merrill as the game went on.
Let's take a look at our leading scorers for each of these squads. Paul Jesperson filled it up to the tune of 22 points, followed by Sam Arneson with 7. Matt Waller had 6. And then significant contributions, Ron Patton, Jamie Schneck, and Keelan Johnson.
Oh, there again, that sums it up. 3 guys in double figures for Whitefish Bay. Jesperson, where he was all year long, at just over 21 points a game, followed up by his 2 senior buddies there.
That was a lot of fun for Merrill to get down here to a state tournament. They're going to head back to North Central Wisconsin with a silver trophy. Whitefish Bay, meantime, wins a 3rd state championship.
Enjoy it, Brian.
Good working with you, as always.
Yeah,
thank you, Chris Sweatler. I'm Brian Groff. We're going to send it upstairs now before our Division I state final to Bob Bradovich.